Another Friday Night Live collaboration with Matter of Opinion and Hold Up, Hear Me Out, though. How are you, ladies and gentlemen, doing this evening?
Yes, happy Friday, happy Good Friday at that.
Happy Good
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
Happy Good Friday.
You know what? I completely like it. Completely slipped my mind that it actually is Good Friday. Wow,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Easter Sunday coming up, huh?
that's
I
it,
guess
it
right.
sure is. It sure is.
me, me.
Wait, you said you didn't know what stores weren't closed around you. You didn't go out today.
No, I'm saying I didn't. Nah, I'm under
No,
the
the
weather
stores were
right now.
open around me.
Oh, for
What?
me, I'm under the
Yeah.
weather, so yeah,
Oh, how
it's.
you doing? How you feeling?
I mean, I'm getting better day by day, but yeah, look, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm here. It is what it is.
Yeah, we're glad you're with us, man. I'm glad you're rocking with
For
us.
real, for real. So yeah, man. Today we got some adult conversations. Some good, juicy, spicy topics for everybody. We're
Mm.
gonna be discussing the whole Cam Newton comments that he said during an interview. Then we're gonna tackle a post that was made by Tichina Arnold that was discussing about you know the emasculation of black men.
Hmm.
And the last topic we're going to talk about is how people can how I guess it'll be geared more towards women, how women will dig deep to figure out like if a man is cheating, but the whole time you then like really process the fact that he was maybe unhappy or something, maybe unhappy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I know that's gonna ruffle a lot of feathers. I know educated ladies gonna have a lot to say on the matter, but
Absolutely.
yeah. So we're gonna start today's live with the comments that Cam Newton had said. Which let's pull this up real quick. All right,
I
and we're
actually
gonna
didn't hear
play.
it, so this is gonna be the first time me hearing this. I just keep
Cool.
hearing people talking about it, so this is gonna be the first time hearing this.
Yeah, and to me, like what he said, I didn't see it as really that bad, but hey, we're about to listen to it now and see what we think on it.
All right, let's get it.
I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a three-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch,
Okay, what's the difference?
a woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. I had a perfect, a
And
perfect
that's pretty much the end of the video. So yeah, with the comments that he made describing a boss B and everything like that, like who wants to tackle it first on what you think on what he said? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Like, what do you think what he said? Do you find it offensive?
I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. There's is I know there's a little more to it than like just like cooking and cleaning and whatnot. But like in terms of like you know, like a bad bee or whatever, it's just yeah they I guess more kind of like they're more turned up, always like in the scenes. You know what I mean? Just trying to have fun, trying to party, trying to just get into whatever's popping. Um, yeah, always claiming like the boss B, like strong, independent, don't need no man type. You know what I mean? Because I got my own money, so it's like I don't really need a man type business, and like
Hmm.
kind of basically kind of doing what they want to do. You know what I mean? Because they got the money to do it, and especially if they look good, it's like yeah, now they're just claiming like I'm a bad B, right? But
Hmm.
um, it's because what he's seen in his household, because his parents have been together for I think he said 37 years, 36, 37 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
something
Yeah,
like that.
36 years.
Yeah.
yeah, so like he's had that, like first off, he's had that male role model, which a lot of some of us don't even have, right? The luxury of
No.
having. So like he's had that, and then he's been shown the side of like, all right, what is a man supposed to do, and then he's also seen the side of like what a woman's supposed to do because he's seeing it every day, right? So
Mhm.
and he's getting the advice from both his mother and father. So it's like I could say, I mean, like I said, I kind of get what he means by that. Uh, but yeah, it's for me, it's what I just said before, just wanting to turn up all the time, boss speed, having their own money, doing basically whatever they want to do without anyone telling them anything. So yeah, basically,
So
Yeah,
you
I
agree?
didn't
You agree
see.
with him? You agree with him at the end of the day, right?
me myself, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I agree, I agree.
Go ahead, educated lady.
I didn't see anything wrong with the comments because at the end of the day, like we always talk about, everyone has a preference. And
Hmm.
I don't think that anybody should be crucified for that. And technically, he didn't really put any particular person down. It's like if you identify as a bad B, okay. But he didn't, say like a specific race of people or specific, anything like that. It's for, I don't think, anyone to get offended. When I was looking at the comments, a lot of the women were upset because they just felt like because like there were some other videos like Brittany Renner had responded because he made a comment like, oh, I would never slide into Brittany Renner's DMs. And then model, I forgot her name, had also came forward and she said, because I believe in his interview somewhere, or maybe it was in the comments, people were bringing up like Savannah James, LeBron James' wife, and Aisha Curry, because they were like, oh yeah, that's the epitome of what a woman should be. You see their wives, this, and that. But on the flip side, women were like, okay, we hear you, but it's always alleged that these women are getting cheated on. It's like not too long ago, there was some type of report about Aisha Curry and her marriage, how they had an open marriage, but they shut that down. Then they had something, I think at least once a month, about LeBron James, about how he loves his snow bunnies. So it's like, it makes women feel like we hear what you're saying in terms of your preference and you want these demure women, but those are the women who are still getting cheated on. Those are the women who are still pretty much going through the same things that we're going through. The only difference is they have a ring or they're in a long-term relationship, not committed, but a long-term relationship. So it came off as that's what the issue was. A lot of women had with his comments.
Let me ask you this, because with all these people having these alleged stuff, whatever, do they have anything concrete? Because if they don't have anything concrete,
Well, I mean,
then
it depends on where you look at because there have been some alleged videos, pictures, and stuff like that. But of course, it's like they don't feed into it like Will and Jada did. So it's almost like they either, like LeBron James, I don't believe has said anything about it, but Aisha Curry, they did come out and shut that down about the whole open marriage thing because, people were like going in on them for like a good day or two before they said something. So technically, depending on which blog sites you follow and everything, it's alleged, but they do have some pictures, some videos, and random people that have come forward and said different things. So it depends on what you want to believe.
for because for me, I need something concrete. Because not to hark back on even Will and Jada Smith or whatever, but there's even alleging that Jada and Chris Rock had a thing back in the day or whatever the case may be.
Come on.
Rumors is always on. Like for me, something concrete, because I don't. that's like I see my significant other out in the streets, whatever, like having dinner with a coworker or something. So somebody take a picture like, yo, your wifey was cheating or whatever. Like,
Mhm.
if especially if I knew, I'm just gonna be like, whatever, think what you want to think. I knew what connection I had with my significant other, and I know it's not what it is. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I need
Yeah.
something concrete. So I hear what people are saying in the comments and everything like that, but if it's not nothing concrete, it's just alleged. Yes, you can base an opinion on it, but for something like that of that magnitude, where it's like you're literally saying these people are cheated on, not you, educated lady, but that's what the people's comments are saying.
Better
Oh,
not be.
yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like they're just straight up saying, oh, these women are getting cheated on and stuff like that. Unless these women come out and say, yes, I was being cheated on or something, then it's just he say, she say.
Yeah, but of course they're not going to do that. Everyone doesn't have the gall and the publicist and whatever like a Jada and a Will Smith. So of course, because like if you think about it, with a lot of women, and could even be men as well, but with a lot of them, it's like there are things that they know go on behind closed doors. And let's be honest, when you date men, with certain professions, some will even say of certain cultures, you just have this assumed knowledge that okay, it's a possibility that you're not the only one. But as long as their needs are met and it's not out there in the public, because the problem is it's not so much, I mean, yes, it is the fact that you're out there doing you, but it's not so much that you're out there having community penis, it's the fact that it's out there and now the public knows. And then
Mhm.
I stayed. Now I'm looking like a fool. Now people are making jokes about me. So it's like I hear what you're saying, but it's almost like I mean, I hate to say it, for any professional basketball players out there or football players who are watching, but again, it's assumed that with certain professions and, like I said, even cultures, it's yeah, that you're not the only one. But as long as they're taking
Yeah.
care of home, your needs are met, you tend to look the other way.
See,
Yeah.
So,
I can't.
mhm.
The
Go
reason why,
go ahead.
I can't really agree with that because again, I need something concrete. So
Yeah,
my
but you're
thing is,
saying you want the wife to
listen.
come out and say,
Here,
yes, I
here,
am being cheated on. That's not going to happen.
here's
Like
the
that's
thing.
unrealistic.
Here's the thing. If people are insinuating what they're insinuating and they're like the person is getting cheated on, whatever the case may be, if that person is genuinely unhappy, they're in a position where if I walk away because of this infidelity, I get half. I'm well taken care of. So the fact of the process being, oh, I can't um the process being, I'm well taken care of. That's why I'm sticking in this situation. To me, I disagree with that because you can get that bag by divorcing, taking
No.
half and
But it's
walking
not
away.
consistent. That's not a consistent bag. That's the thing
Mhm.
that you fail to realize. Like there are
It's
women, I know of some women who, once they probably left. I mean, granted, they probably weren't happy and stuff. But the majority of the women that I see who are with men who have money, some were staying at home moms, some had their career, but of course not at the level of their husbands. They waited for their kids to go to college and then that's when they bounce, because then it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm getting the bag and now I can go out here. Maybe they want to start over, maybe they just want to date, whatever the case may be. But depending
Mhm.
on the age, especially of your children, and granted, it can even be her culture, there's certain, or even religion, there's certain faiths where women are like, no, I'm going to stick by my husband regardless of what happens. But again, that's a consistent bag. If we get divorced, hypothetically speaking, even if I get $1 million, even if you give me $10,000 a month, whatever, living that lifestyle that we were living. Look at what Dr. Dre went through. Why do you think she ran him through the mud? Homeboy had to go into the hospital. Like she ran him in the mud because she was like, wait a minute, I don't want, whatever it was in the prenup. I want the same lifestyle I had when I was married to him. Because again,
Exactly.
it's
But
different.
see, but here's the thing that to me that go ahead, Rex, but I'll speak after you.
Yeah, no, it's just it's true because like again, they especially if you're in the spotlight, you're like whether you're a professional athlete, in corporate, very high executive positions or whatnot. It's like they almost know, especially again, you're being seen in public. They almost assume that maybe not necessarily you're gonna cheat, but there's gonna be women out there that that's gonna flaunt themselves to basically do like whatever, right? And then they just keep at the back of their mind. It's like as long as he doesn't bring anything back home in terms of STD,
Yep.
doesn't have a child outside of the marriage, doesn't embarrass them in public or put them in danger, then they'll just sit back, be quiet, and not flaunt it in their face at home. They're willing to like put up with it, right? Because again, it's like it's more of a long term. It's like a secure thing, right? Again, they're not. I'm not saying they're
Absolutely.
happy with it. They're not happy with
Absolutely.
it, but they will. Again, they will deal with it, right? But yeah, if they're gonna like go for the divorce and whatnot, it's like yeah, now you're. And then again, some of them are not realistic. They're trying to keep that same lifestyle they had while things were good, but then you want the same thing now when you're divorced. Like, no, first off, you're not going to get that. The bag is not going to be consistent like that anymore. Especially another reason too, like the educated lady said, in terms of if they have the children and the children are young, she's not trying to do that by herself. Because
Hmm.
remember, now she has to go back in the dating scene knowing she has multiple children, one child with multiple children, and having to find a stepfather first that will deal with that, that
Yep.
wants to be a stepfather and take care of her and her children, right? So it's like she's not trying to do all that. So yeah, she would wait till like the kids are grown, 18, all right, most likely. If they're working or things already paid for, all right, they're out the crib. It's like, okay. And then now she can decide either if she wants to stay or she can leave, right? Because now the children are grown, sorry. And she doesn't really have to deal with that. So it's like now she can live her life. So I,
Absolutely. And
I see
also
that
co-parenting
happening, but
too.
some of them can't, yeah, some of them can't really deal with it. They don't want to stay, right? But I guess it just depends on whatever the dispute was about, or how how I don't know how crazy it got. Like it could be a number of things, right? So it's like again, they can only take so much, but it's
Yeah.
more
And
so
See,
like
also co-parent faith.
no, here's my thing with the situation because I
mhm,
hear everything that you're saying, and it seems like everything that you guys are pointing at is what is assumed, what is alleged supposed to happen, whatever. But then
mhm.
on this that same breath, y'all turn around and just disregard like, what about stories about these women are married to these rich men and they deal with the milkman or the mailman. Like it always seems like
Oh,
the infidelity is cast upon the man. And if
oh no, I
anything,
don't. No, I
wait,
don't.
wait, wait. The woman
Uh,
has the most
Here he go.
opportunity. The woman has the most opportunity because the man is not home most of the time because he's the
mhm,
breadwinner. And it's not
mhm.
here I go. The bottom line is every time I hear these conversations, it's always assumed that this is what happens. The man is whatever, always stereotypically this happens, whatever. But nobody assumes, like, nobody take these same arguments that are assumed on the women's side and put it on Front Street the way it's always put on Front Street for a man. And again, my thing is, we sit there and talk about these women don't want to break up the home and stuff, but there's a lot of women that is fine with breaking up the home who's like, yo, I'm gonna get that bag. So the same way we can turn around and say that women are like, yo, it's not a secure bag. There's women who are like, this bag is good enough for me. I have plans where I have it outlined with what I want to do, business ventures, blah, blah, blah. So it's like the way the conversation sounds, it's like one sided, where it's like, no, women aren't going to do this, blah, blah, blah. But just as you have outliers, there's also outliers on the other side of the
I,
of the scope.
I
I
hear what
agree
you're
with you.
saying, but
Go
the
ahead.
thing is that's deflecting because we're not talking about if a woman had came up there
I'm
and was
I'm
on
not.
the pot. Let me talk because I tried to interrupt you. You shut me down.
Yeah, because
So
y'all
the
was talking for
same
like a
way,
good 10, 15 minutes, and I let y'all speak and then say anything.
all right, that was just another extra 5 seconds wasted.
That's
But
fine.
what I'm trying to say is that's deflecting because right now what we are talking about is Cam Newton, who's a man's response, who a man's answer to whatever Wallow and Gilly had asked him. So we're referring to the basketball players, certain professionals. Like if it was a woman that came up there and said that, all right, cool, then we could talk about it. But that's why we're harping on certain professions of men in sports. That's why I specifically said basketball, football, because I'm pertaining it to Cam Newton. Now, if you want to go into the whole cheating thing, whatever, we could save that for the next topic that's coming up, or the last topic that's coming up. What I'm
but
saying specifically is about this situation. You can go ahead.
but here's the thing. If we're going to say we're talking about Cam Newton and exactly what he said, then that means that the topic should be on describing what a bad B is. You said you went into the comments and saw people was talking about, oh, these women are whatever, and brought the cheating narrative into the conversation. The conversation was, so if we're gonna say I we can talk about this for another conversation, then we can talk about the whole cheating thing in another conversation, because what Cam Newton said and the clip that we played was specifically about a bad B, not about cheating, not about none of that stuff. It was strictly pertained to what he described as a bad B and how he has no desire for a bad B.
Okay, but
Mhm.
the reason why we actually was on topic because he said this is why I don't want a bad B, and he went into how his parents were married for 36 years. You know, a woman doesn't know her place, da da da. So that's why I gave the example of women were saying even when doing that, the man will still, be out here doing different things. So that's why a lot of people in the comments work because you said he got backlash for his comment. So that's why I gave you pretty much an explanation, letting you know based off of the responses that I saw, this is why women had so many things to say about his comments. So technically, it was on topic. You're just taking it somewhere else.
No, it's not on topic, because if anything, that's a deflection, because he's talking about his description of a bad B. So whoever the comments that were said, that was a deflection of the comment that he was talking about.
Okay, but
So
isn't
and
this
my
the
and
purpose
no
of the
no
show to talk
no
about it?
but what I
Like,
but
I'm
what I,
confused right
it
now.
is it is a purpose to talk
I'm
about
really
it, but
confused.
you're talking about deflecting, and now you're speaking about this. We're only speaking about this aspect. But if you're like, how can you say we're only speaking about this aspect when you brought one thing into it and now I'm contesting that? So it's like, no, if that's the case, we're talking like whatever direction it go, that's the conversation we're gonna have.
I hear you. But again, what I was referring to was the backlash that he received and the comments that people were saying. That's where the whole thing came off of. I didn't deflect. It was on topic.
All right. Well, for me, the way I see it, man, as far as bad B goes, he hit the nail on the coffin. Like,
Mhm.
that's his preference or whatever. He didn't say anything negative, and nobody has a distinct definition of what a bad B is, because, like I said, people have different definitions. The way I perceive a bad B is they based on their looks, and pretty much they get by on their looks, like a pretty privilege, so to speak. That's the way I take
Yeah.
a bad B, and most of the bad Bs, they'll get it by any means necessary, so to speak.
Mhm.
Which we had a discussion on with the whole BBL thing or whatever. But I agree with him, and for me personally, I agree with the concept of not wanting a bad B, because not all, but a good portion of women that get by on pretty privilege, it's like that's pretty much what they have to offer. Not all, but
Yeah,
some.
like I said, I agree too, and it's only because like again, yeah, we say not all men want a bad B. It's like more so the ones that do want a bad B, they're either like a lot younger. They just want something to show off when they're on road, show off to their friends. You know what I mean? Just show off to the public, to show almost like a trophy piece type. Um, and it's and then for the dudes that are older, if they want a bad B, which I wouldn't understand why, but it could also stem from, maybe they were like the type of dude that back in the day when they were younger, they didn't get girls like that, especially, good looking ones. So it's like, especially now that they're more successful, more accomplished, now they can pretty much get almost any woman they want. Now they'll just get a bad B just because, it's like she looks good, she's, what I mean? Just like off looks and whatever. So again, just to show off, really. But myself, anyway, I'm going to speak for myself. I don't want a bad B. It's like I'm older now. Like, why am I showing off to the world like my lady? Like, and in that light, like, no, I don't want no Instagram model type. you know what I mean, like chick, like
Mhm.
nah, that's not what I want. I'm not about that life at all. Like I'm too grown for that now. It's a lot more than that. You know what I mean? So that's for me though. Um, but I do agree with them. I have to say I do agree.
You got something to add, educated lady, or nah?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Nah. For me, I think the reason why he was getting a lot of flack is specifically because he's a man of stature that have money that most would consider is and that high value man caliber because like I said of his tax bracket so to speak. So this is coming from a person who fits that bill and he's basically saying, "Yo, my preference is not to have a bad B." So I think for a lot of women who fit that preference of being a bad B, it kind of struck a nerve. So that's why I think the backlash pretty much came towards him.
I
So
don't think that's the reason. That's not the reason. The women who are considered a bad B weren't the ones who had the comments. They had the comments for the reason that I had just mentioned. Because again, they feel like even if you are an Aisha Curry or a Savannah James, like you can still have similar outcomes as the ones who, you know what I'm saying, who are out here being the bad bee or who are being savages, whatever. So that's why a lot of them felt like, okay, yeah, we can do all these things and we can be like these people. Because, see, you only showed that one clip. Like his interview went on further with different things that he talked about a woman knowing her place and knowing to let the man lead. Like he went in depth. And like I had mentioned, how he had said, like, I wouldn't slide into Brittany Renner's DMs. That's why she responded. So I think that's probably where we digressed. Well, where I digressed a little bit because I'm referring to his whole interview, not just the clip you said.
and that's what me and Rex is going on. We're going off basically what the clip was said and the comments that were made specifically to that clip. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm going on. And I personally think Aisha Curry is a bad example or whatever because even with their story, like people are like it's some of her actions that she's doing. I'm like, okay,
Well,
I
yeah,
disagree. I disagree with it. Making a
she kind of, well,
what
I
is it?
remember she said, I think she said once, I forget what show it was, but she said she was kind of she was upset because she wasn't getting like male attention like that, the way, like her husband was, in terms of like, just being like a star or whatever. But it's like, you got to understand, your husband is the superstar. Like you're just a regular person. So it's like you're not gonna get that. Like now you're getting that, that celeb status type because you're married to him. But before that, you're just an average woman like, the rest of us. So she,
Hmm.
she was talking about that. So it's like that. I found that a little bit odd. I was like, why is that? So I was like, okay, it is what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
But
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
I found that weird. I was like, where's that coming from? It's like, I just didn't understand how she didn't
yeah, pretty
get
much.
that.
It rubbed
Like
put it
your
like this.
husband
It
is the superstar.
it rubbed me the wrong way. That's what it was. It pretty much rubbed me the wrong way. But
I
I
don't know, it
guess
was weird.
let me see the comment section. So Erica Pierre said, "I don't like he said anything. I don't feel like he said anything wrong, but it also goes into the line of some of these ladies out here don't know how to play the role of a partner." Empress said, "Agreed." Then it says, "I get where you're coming from, but what about all the cases of people who don't go into temptation because of their profession? They get the same standards as the ones who go out there and cheat. Correct? You can't control what that man is doing, what that man is going to do or not, but you have men in that industry that are telling you they don't want a bad beat. They want something consistent in the role that they want." All right. Any of y'all want to chime into that or y'all good? Yes, no,
Yeah,
maybe so.
good.
All right. And the last comment is, in general, people who are fame adjacent feel like they're famous to want to be famous on my own merits. And unfortunately, not everybody knows who you are, so you don't get the same kind of play. Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So we're going to Hold on. Technical issues. All right, so we're gonna switch gears into the second topic, which is a post by Tichina Arnold, educated lady. I know you're better at you're more versed on this topic, so you want to let them know about this topic at hand.
Yeah, so Tashina Arnold made a post a couple days ago where she asked, honest question: what can we as Black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men in America? And once again, social media pretty much was close to canceling her because they just felt like, based off of the comments, a lot of women were saying, sis, we're going to sit this one out, or why is it always the Black woman's role to put her cape on and save the day, and all these different things. And to me, it honestly, maybe this is just me being naive. I really was looking forward to the responses to see, like, oh, okay, yeah, what are some suggestions that they have? And it was the polar opposite. So you only had, I want to say, about a good 5 to 10% of responses where people were genuinely saying, yes, these are some things that we can do. And I have to admit, like, I know it was a question, but I agree with it. I feel like even if it's not Black women, I feel like in general, we need to do more things to make sure that our Black men are heard and seen. And unfortunately, some of us, and I'm not saying I do, but some of us
Mhm.
do get into a situation where we do tend to emasculate our men. And what I mean is, we don't let a man be a man. And I don't mean no, let him go out there and cheat. I'm talking about let him be a man in terms of making decisions and, doing for himself. And if he needs help, he'll let you know and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, there's certain things that I'm still learning as well. But it definitely is a culture of emasculating our Black men that has been going on, and you can even see that across social media. So I am really glad that she addressed it. It's just unfortunate that people missed her intent, because then, oh, they also started bringing in the fact that when she played Pam, it was like, oh, you allow Martin to degrade you, and it's like, wait, that was a character that she played. She's an actress.
Mhm.
So I really do wish that people received her question a little bit better than what they did.
Rex, you want to take lead or I take lead first? All right, I'll go first on that one. Okay. So, as far as the question itself, what women can do, like before women can do anything, I think it's a problem that us men we gotta fix on our own accord or whatever. As far as you know, emasculating men, and the reason why I say that is because us men, like we critique. First off, can you hear me? I can't hear you, Rex. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, 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 hello. I guess we're having technical difficulties, but okay. I think it's an issue that us men we have to fix more than anything because men with this whole toxic masculinity that is going through in the like with men, to me I think that's one of the biggest issues or whatever. Um Society nowadays, as far as like with the hold on, what the hell happened? Okay, there you go, Rex. You good?
Yeah, like damn, they don't want me to be great out here, baby.
Yeah, they don't. They
They
don't.
don't want
But
me to
yeah,
be great.
but
Wait,
with the
educated lady. Sorry, before you continue, educated lady, can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you and
yeah,
see
we
you.
can hear you good.
Wow, but I
Yeah.
can't hear her. Of course. Dang. Woo. All right. Um, you just keep rocking. I'll
All
try
right.
to work my.
Okay. All right. But yeah, with I think do women play a role in it? Yes, women may play a role in it at a minuscule level, so to speak. But I think with the way society is built now, with all this woke culture, it's like men can't be themselves. Men can't bring that masculine energy because whenever they try and bring that masculine energy, it comes off as offensive. So it kind of have men scared, scared to be themselves because they think, it's gonna like they're gonna get canceled and everything like that. And you see like a lot of men, a lot of men aren't as harsh on other men when it comes to them not being more masculine and everything like that. It's like every put it like this, it's more so a PC culture when it comes to men because everybody is afraid of being canceled, so to speak. So I believe the way women can help men in a sense is not being so sensitive when it comes to a man being a man, or any little thing when it comes to a man, it's like, oh, you're misogynistic, you're this, you're that. So with that being said, I honestly believe that, hold on, let me bring you good.
Good. Yeah, let me.
Okay. So with that being said, man, I honestly think women can aid men of not being emasculated pretty much by, I would say, not being so sensitive to every little thing. Actually have an open mind when men are actually speaking their mind on the things that they want and not just attacking them and taking them as, oh, like I said, you're being misogynistic and things of that nature. And men men in general, we need to stop being soft, man. We need to stop being soft. That's what I honestly think. A lot of men nowadays are soft as I don't know what. Some people, like some men will try and say, well, some men will put it on, you have a lot of men that are being raised by single mothers and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that can play a role in it. But outside of your household, I'm pretty sure you have male, adult male figures, I want to say, around you, whether it's uncles, whether it's cousins, or whatever the case may be, different family members. So men, we're allowing other men to be too soft, like, and that's something that we need to fix ourselves.
The other thing too that I wanted to point out is the fact that when you think about it, if you break down what the black household is, a lot of us, if not most of us, are coming from broken homes. So at the end of the day, when you start dating, I feel like we all need to be a little bit patient with each other because the same way you're still learning how to be a man, I'm still figuring out what it means to be a woman, especially because of the example that you just gave, which is with the example that you just gave, where it's like, they were raised by single mothers. And it took me, I want to say, maybe a little bit after I had my son to realize, you know what, my mom did the best that she could. Yeah, did I complain about stuff? Yeah, do I feel like she could have did this differently? I did this, but yeah, but at the end of the day, because of that reason, it's like I feel like we need to be a little bit more patient with each other. But at the same time, I also feel like we can't scream black men need to protect black women if we're gonna tear down Tichina Arnold just for even making a not even a statement, asking a question, which is like, hey, how can we stop aiding in the emasculation of black men? The other thing too that I wanted to point out is that some people also took offense to her question because they felt like there approximately, I want to say, what, every 5.5 if not 6 seconds a black woman is killed, and they feel like a lot of black men don't protect their black women. So they felt like by her posing that question it was laughable because it's like, but how come no one ever addresses that? How come no one ever, talks about those things? It's almost like it goes hand in hand. We need to work with each other. So
Can I
it's
can I ask you a question?
Mhm.
Because and I guess I want just a woman's perspective on that. Like, how do women feel that black men aren't protecting them in a sense where like a black woman is killed or whatever? Usually, it's like that black woman and that man alone. If it's like in the settings where that woman is being attacked, black men will definitely come to her rescue. You get what I'm saying? So like how why is it that like women think, black men aren't protecting them? Because to my knowledge, I see black men are quick to jump into defense of black women all the time.
Even if that is the case, honestly can't confirm or deny that statement. But
Well, do
even
you
if
do you do you feel black men protect their women or no? Not really.
see it define you have to define what you mean by protection. You mean like if
Okay.
there was like we're in harm's way? Do you mean
Mhm.
like what do you
Like
have to
in harm's way, or somebody making derogatory statements at you, a woman or you see a woman in public with a man and the man is being real aggressive, stuff like that towards her will meant like a man, somebody jump in and say, "Hey, don't treat her." You get what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, I see more women doing that than men. Because if you think about it, like for example, when George Floyd, unfortunately was going through what he went through and he passed away, or he died, it was a woman that was recording. No one else did anything. Now, granted, that was an example of a man, not a woman, but that was just an example. But what I've seen is whenever something has happened, even if a woman pulls out her phone, whether it's to record or call 911, she's doing something, the men just walk away. So I honestly, that's why I said I can't confirm or deny what you just said because that's, your experience. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen that.
okay.
And even what you just said, where you're like, okay, even if a woman is killed, it's at the hands of a man that she knows, but that still falls in line with what I was just saying. The fact that, you're still not protecting that black woman. It doesn't matter if you have, that should be even more of a reason why you protect her because you have an intimate relationship with her. But like I said, if you look at a lot of the domestic violence, the women who are black women who are murdered, it's at the hands of is at the hands of a black man. So that's why a lot of people were also going in on the question that she posed because they just felt like, all right, here we go again. Black women have to come in to save the day, but who's saving us? Like who's helping us? And again, as I mentioned, there's work that I feel needs to be done on both sides. So I'm not trying to take a woman's side or the man's side. I'm just saying that there's work that needs to be done on both sides. But if you think about it, we started getting into a culture of, I don't need a man. I'm an independent, strong black woman. And so we may not think we're emasculating men, but realistically, when you throw that up in their face, what do you think that they're feeling? How are they supposed to how are they supposed to come back from that?
Hmm. Here's what I will say though. Again, that still falls on the shoulders of the men, which is why I feel like we gotta fix it. We gotta fix it ourselves internally because the question is, why do women feel that way? They don't just come out of the thin. It don't just come out of thin air that the women will feel this way. It got to be something that's being done on the men's side to make women feel that way. Now, granted, your choices, your dating choices, and everything play a role in that, and it can make you, feel that way towards every man, depending on the choices you made and who you dated. But at the end of the day, like I said, still, it still comes down to why are women feeling that way?
Wait,
You know,
feeling what way?
like feeling, yo, I don't need a man. I can do better by myself. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason why women are coming out saying that or feeling that way, so to speak. You know?
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you.
Rex, what's your take on it, brother? I think Rex is having technical
Yeah, I can't
issues.
hear 'em.
Yeah, technical issues. Oh man.
But going back to the question that you
Okay.
made, that's pretty much why a lot of women do come up with that like, oh, I'm a single independent strong black woman, I don't need a man, because of the revert back to topic one, what I was saying about women who feel like regardless of what they do, how they behave, they can still have the same outcomes as the woman who, in a sense, according to Cam Newton, doesn't do what she needs to do and doesn't know her role. Like we still have the same outcome. So that's why a lot of women feel like, it is just better to be by myself than it is to deal with a man.
But this is what I will say though. Granted, because we like on both sides of the spectrum, we have women that feel, the men that the men they come in contact with aren't about nothing, and we have men that feel the women that they come across, their decision making is not about anything. But the only thing I will say when it comes to that is, what's going on, June?
Hey, June.
You
How y'all
feeling
doing?
in?
How y'all
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. Okay. The only thing that I will say about that is, I don't see the need of saying, where the saying of, "Oh, I don't need a man," and throwing it in men's faces, because that also turn around now. That puts all men on an island, so to speak. So even the ones that are having the thoughts of, "Yo, I do want a woman," it kind of turns them off, because you don't really hear, like, yeah, of course you'll hear some men that say, "Yo, I don't want a girl," or something like that, but you don't hear a loud public outcry of men saying, "I don't want a woman," because we know we need women. So we
Yeah,
don't just
but we
openly or
also number
brazenly throw
men.
it out.
We
No,
also
we do, but
outnumber men. So you
I
have
understand that,
more
but
opportunity
what
than we do.
but what I'm saying, educated lady, is that, with that being said, if you know that you outnumber men, why would you put every man in a box and just say, "I don't want a man. I can, I like, pretty much just saying all men ain't crap, yada yada." You put everybody in a box because of your experience. And granted, I understand, like I said, that was your experience, but you can't put every man in a box like that. So once you put every man in a box like that, why would men want to, like, why would the ones who are good trying to actually do that, if this is what they're constantly hearing, it's going to make them turn away, where they're like, "Well, damn, if I'm not needed, then why even bother?"
I understand it also
You
doesn't
get what
help
I'm
the
saying?
fact that nowadays, women, they put up this facade like they don't need a man, because technically there's some women out there that are like, look, I'll start my family on my own terms when I'm ready, whether they go adopt, they're a foster parent, whatever the case may be, get their toy when they need some, like it, because they feel like it's better to do that stuff on their own and be independent than it is to, you know, deal with another black man. And I mean, if even if we look at statistics, black women are least likely to date outside of their race in comparison to black men. So again, it we outnumber you men. So it's easy for you to say, you know what, okay, if things don't work out with this one, I know I can go over to this side, or I know I have other options. So I don't know. I think it's getting to a place where I think black women are tired. We're tired of carrying the burden. We're tired of carrying the family. We're tired because, granted, I don't always feel like us black women take on a role. Like, let me rephrase it. I don't feel like us black women adopt the role of I'm a strong, independent black woman. Unfortunately, it's almost like we inherit it because we're raising these families on our own. We're doing all these things. And at the end of the day, when we need someone to depend on, nobody's there for us.
Well, you did say y'all feel like y'all gonna start a family on y'all time. So y'all gonna adopt if y'all have to. How does that help the child? All that does is it brings in broken people into not only broken people, but it brings in a lot of broken men who were raised by a single mother. They don't know anything about being a man. They don't even know how to control their feelings because the mother's telling them, be strong, you gotta be a man, you gotta be tough. So they're hearing this and they don't know what tough is. So it's starting a lot of issues. So I know y'all feel like y'all inherited the burden, but y'all actually I feel it's giving it y'all mothers is giving it to y'all, to be honest. I seen it firsthand where they put the pressure on their daughters more than their sons.
I
They put
agree.
yeah, that's what they do. And then y'all walk around feeling like y'all have to be this and that. And it's like, nah, that's coming from somewhere. It's not just coming from the guys, it's coming from the people raising us. That's who it's coming from. So if the guys are leaving, yes, the mothers are staying. The mothers are feeling like we can do this by ourselves instead of asking for help. That one young lady said she'd rather die than ask her child's father for help. She'd rather die than ask the child's father for help.
Yeah, but let's not act like it's all peaches and cream now. Sometimes that could be the only option that she has, especially if he's unreliable
No, she said
or
he's a
if
good dad. She even
see,
said
I
he's a
didn't
good
see the
dad.
video, so I don't know what you're referring
Well,
to.
well, here it goes. She said he's a good dad. Like
Okay.
he is a good father to the daughter, but she rather die on the side of the road because she does not want to ask for help. And I was like, wow, that sounds like that's what it is. Some people just have their pride so high I'm not asking the guy for help. And it's like y'all make it so difficult for us to lead, where y'all put balls and chains around our feet and say, "Here, lead." And the second we show a sign of decline, it's up. I know I shouldn't have followed you. I'm not following you. So that makes it tough on us because y'all don't even really want to follow. So now y'all want to be the follow because y'all looking at everybody else's relationship and like, you know what? I want that relationship. I want him to take me to Bangladesh too. And it's like, stop putting that pressure on us because he's probably spitting in her face and you're just looking at the good times and putting that on us. That emasculates us because it's like we can't live up to something she's not even getting, but you want us to live up to that.
Yeah, but see, that's an extreme example because all of them, all of the relation, well, I can't say all, some of the relationships, that we look at, first of all, we don't always want what the person has. We want what they represent. So
Okay.
it's not always them going to Bangladesh or Dubai or anything like that. It could be the simple things. And sometimes, you know, I hate to say it, but you men have to give us something to follow. So I'm sorry, I can't just follow you just because you're a man. I need to see, like, okay, what is it that you bring to the table? Like, what is it? What is your vision for us?
Here,
Is it?
here's what I'll say.
Okay, go ahead.
Once you get to that point with that individual that you want to be in a steady, consistent relationship and all of that stuff, y'all cross all them hurdles. At that point, if you're still unsure that you can't let that man follow, why are you even getting in that situation with that man? Why even go to that level? So,
Exactly.
if once you get to that level, you should be committed 100% to let that man lead. So, if you go into that direction of being committed and you still can't understand, like, still iffy or on the fence that this man, I don't know if I should follow him, then that's your choice. That's your decision. That's your bad decision making on that aspect. So,
Yes.
that's why I'm like, yo, you like I always hear this. How do I know I'm supposed to let you lead? How why even get into a relationship with the person that you're not unsure that you could follow?
Yes.
Move to the next person then and find the one that can actually lead and that you can follow wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but when we outnumber you men, we don't have to pick at a litter as easy as you men do.
But here's
So
the
for us, we look at it as we have to pick and choose our battles. So, sometimes men aren't always consistent. So, yeah, that may be the case. Let's say 65% of the time, 75% of the time. But 100% of the time, you men are not consistent. So, you can't blame a woman if every now and again, maybe she does feel like, okay, where is this going? Is this going somewhere? Is he leading me to marriage, or is it just leading to forever girlfriend, or is it you can't fault us for that.
the reason why I can blame women is because women are outspokenly speaking that they can do better without a man and they don't need a man. So if you already have it in your mind that you don't need a man, then you shouldn't have to settle on that aspect because to your knowledge, you can do without a man. So you can sit back. If this doesn't work, hey, you're perfectly fine with getting a dog and dying alone, like Kevin Samuels say. So
But
that's why I'm
okay,
like, the onus is on the woman because you're promoting to men we don't need you.
but the women that are promoting that are the ones who aren't in relationships. That's the thing that you're missing. You're saying it like, oh, we have that mentality where we're like, oh yeah, we don't need we don't need a man. So if that's the case, we could walk. No, the ones who have that mentality aren't in relationships. Look at the ones who call Kevin Samuels line. Majority when I used to watch him, the majority of them weren't in relationships
But
and
they're
never been
leading though.
married.
They're lead, and y'all still listening to them because it's like I wouldn't do this. Why are you doing that, girl? You need to not do that. And then they come home and they're listening to what that person was saying, and it's like, why? She has no man. Why are you listening to her? Like, why are you doing that? I've experienced that a lot where I'm like, why are you listening to somebody who's not in a relationship? It's like me being broke and somebody's listening to my advice for money. It's like, why are you doing that? Like I believe I have great advice, but why are you listening to me and then blaming me when you fail?
No, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. For me, I feel like my best dating advice came from married women and single men.
Single men,
Yes.
nice.
But
Because the majority of them, they claim they chose to be single.
with that being said, like I get where you're saying what you're saying, educated lady, where you're like, you learn to pick your battles and everything like that. But I strongly feel that one battle that you don't want to like get the short end of the stick on is if that man can lead you. To me, that's like number one important because that means that you're getting the protection, like that feel of protection, that feel of loyalty. All of those things come into play. So if you don't feel you're getting that, which is like one of the basic things when it comes to a relationship, that's a bad thing to settle for. Like that's the ultimate bad thing to sacrifice and be like, well, it's not a lot of men and stuff. Nah, that's you
No,
Yeah,
setting
but
but
yourself
see,
up.
you're talking about different things. Protection, leading, those are two different things.
But those are the things that make a woman open to a man leading them. You got to feel protected, you got to feel secure, you got to feel that this man is loyal to you. If you have those things, then you'll let the man lead you. It's not about financials, it's about the feeling of secure.
No, I
So if
agree
you
with
don't
you.
yeah, so if you don't have that feeling of being secure, that's one of the major things for a man to lead you. So if you don't even feel that, why be with the person?
yeah,
Because you can have one without the other. You
Yeah,
can
like
but
feel
what?
protected without feeling like he's leading you to whatever that end goal is.
so a woman is going to sacrifice the feeling of being secure, not protection, but being secure, or the person is being loyal. To me, that's a recipe for disaster.
No, I agree with you, but it happens.
Well,
Yeah,
all
but
I'm
you
saying,
can't blame us for that, though.
well,
If
yeah,
we're
what I,
settling for that, you can't blame us. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
that's
Nope,
that's
I
the
didn't say
decision you're
that.
making.
I said I didn't say that. You
That's
about to
the
have them come
yeah.
for me in the comment section.
Nah,
I never
nah.
said
So
that.
yeah, so we definitely like I said, don't get me wrong. Men play like I always say. It takes two to tangle. It
Mhm.
definitely takes two to tangle. But men, we definitely need to better. We definitely need to do better. I will say that because a lot of us men we allow like these soft men to continue on being soft and stuff like that. Like we allow it. And like I said, I think one of the biggest proponent is the whole PC culture. Everything is so PC nowadays, and everybody's scared of being canceled. So
Wait, can I correct something that educated lady said?
Hmm.
go ahead.
You said, guys, we don't help women. Well, there you could search on YouTube. There's this black guy in particular. He was trying to help this black woman by he vandalized the store where they abused this one black woman, an Asian store. He vandalized it and he got locked up. And the next day, they were right back. All the black women were right back in line to go into the store. And he's like, "Yo, we're trying to protect you, black women, and y'all don't care." She's like, "We didn't ask you to protect us." She's like, "We didn't ask you to protect us." She's like, "That's up to you." And it was someone who was trying to bring up the point that we do try to help, but then y'all tell us to mind our business. Y'all didn't ask us for our helps. Like Jada Pinkett, she didn't ask Will to help her. She didn't say she was a damsel in distress. So once we try to help, y'all jump down our throat. I promise you. And it's like, I didn't need your help. So we do try to help. I promise you, we do. Y'all just don't
But
want it.
in
Holding
the
the
same
phone isn't help. Holding the phone, her holding the phone isn't help. Like you did not help George Floyd by just
but
holding the phone.
nobody did.
Yeah,
But
but
nobody did.
you can't
She
say
was the
she helped.
only one that did by
No, she
recording it.
didn't help.
Because if she, yes, she did. Because if she didn't record it, you think we would have the same outcome that we had?
But if she helped in a way to save his life, he may have felt like he was helped, but he was
But
not
then
helped because
she
he
would have
died.
also have probably have been down there with him because it was, remember, it was like three officers.
But that's help. That's how we help y'all, where we risk our lives. So if she's not risking her life,
But
she does
see,
not help.
I disagree because if it was not for her recording that incident, we would not have
That's
what
true.
we have today for everything for George Floyd. And
That's
then just to
true.
counteract what you just said, I think that it was during the I don't know if it was the protests and the riots for George Floyd or if it was another one because unfortunately we had a lot. But there was one black woman. She was on social media, and I don't know if it was CNN or someone who covered it, but she pretty much was begging the rioters, like, please stop. Like, this is my business, black on, all of that. Like, please stop. And the black guy pulled a gun out in front of her face. And she went on social media. And like I said, she was on some news outlet crying because she was like, my black man, not that it was her man, but because he was black. She was saying, my black man, my people, he pulled a gun out on me because I was trying to protect my property because they were rioting. So I hear what you're saying, but for
Yeah, but
every example you can give, I can give another one
no,
to
but
counteract it.
how does that have to do with a black man not helping a black woman? That was just an example of a black man going against one. I'm telling you that they do help.
Yes,
So you
but
gave me an
in
example
that
where
same
one,
instance, if what you're saying, if by your logic, what you just said, shouldn't have he taken that gun out to protect
not
her
him. I didn't say all
against?
black guys help. You say black guys do not help black women. I gave you an example where that's not true. I
And I
didn't
gave
say
you an
every. I
example
didn't
to
say every.
counteract it.
No, but you didn't. I didn't say every
Okay.
single black man helps every single black woman. That's not true. I'm not
Okay.
going to help every single black woman in every single situation, but I will help a black woman. So that you said that's not, they don't help. We do help. We definitely do help.
I think what June is trying to say, because I had an experience like this too, is you have men that attempt or go out their way to help a black woman, and when they help the black woman will turn around and say, I didn't ask for your help, so to speak. So now going forward with that experience, that kind of shun the man and make him feel like, make him feel like what he did was wrong. So now going forward, he's like, I'm just gonna mind my business, so to speak. Until a woman or somebody tell me, hey, I need your help, I'm just gonna mind my business. And I think that's something that goes on in the black community as a whole, not just women. That's men and women that does that.
I agree.
So I think that's the issue that we have in the black community. And just like I say, like we all know we're detriment to ourselves. But when you have that conversation with black people, they'll turn around and say, "No, it's the police that's terrorizing our community." It's like, but sir, don't you see like we're terrorizing ourselves? Nope, it's the police that's doing so. We always deflect and not like realize the terror that we're doing to our own kind, so to speak. And like I said, I don't think women understand what that does to a man when they say, "Nope, I didn't ask for your help, so don't do nothing for me. If I need your help, I'll ask you or whatever." So I think that make a lot of men deter or run away from helping women because they didn't literally ask them for help. So they're like, "Why should I put my 2 cents in them if you didn't ask me for help?"
No, I understand. And like you
Yeah,
said, it goes both ways because women
yeah,
feel the same way when
hmm
they try to stick their neck out there and help a black man, even if it's someone they know personally.
hmm
And if they're like, okay, well, I did all of this for you, and they're like, okay, well, I didn't ask you to.
hmm
Okay, well, I didn't want. So yeah, that's why I
yeah,
said there's work that needs to be done on both
Sorry, that's a
sides.
little different though. I'm not trying to be a contrarian, but it's a little different. If you're telling me all you've done for me, I didn't need you to tell me that. Don't do it for me. If you got to tell me like all I did for you, and that's something women have done to me, where they
yeah.
tell me all of this I've done for you and you blah blah blah. I didn't ask you to do that, so don't put that in my face. If you did it, you should have done it just out of love. Don't do it because you're gonna use it on me later. I don't like that. And
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm finished. I'm finished.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, nah, that point I agree. But the point that you're making is you do something and it's like, yo, I didn't ask for your help. So you get what I'm saying? Like it was just thrown in your face, like, hey, I didn't ask for your help or I didn't need your help.
Even
That
holding the door, even holding the door. I've
yeah,
heard guys say I'm not holding the door anymore because I held it and she just didn't say anything. I was like, oh, thank you. I mean, you're welcome. And she's like, I didn't ask you to hold it. And it's like, why? Why
Yeah,
all
but
of
see, I also have to, and I'm not trying to defend
that?
all women. I'm just
We got
giving
it.
my anecdotal evidence. I've had that happen to me as well. Even with, when you're like, oh, I respect my elders. Let me hold. And I mean, it wasn't like a person in their like 80s or 90s, but someone older than me,
Okay.
visibly older than me. And like holding the door open for them, whatever, going into a store or a restaurant, whatever. They don't say thank you. So that's across the board. That's not just men trying to hold it. No, that's just in general. And depending on your culture or where you live, like I know a lot of people in the South do it. They're quick to talk to you or say thank you or say please, stuff like that. But I'm sorry, up here, up north, they don't do that in general. That's not a woman thing.
No, I just brought that up because what that does is it make the guy say I'm not holding the doors for women, period. And it's like, nah, it shouldn't have to get to the just because she didn't want it, you should still hold the door. Because
I agree with you.
that's the
see,
only reason I brought it up.
you know what I think it is? Okay. Men can keep fighting when it comes to them trying to initially win you over and you reject them. Outside of that, when you reject them in any other concept, they shun away where it's like, yo, I'm done. I'm not doing that no more or whatever. Like if a guy like if your mate or your significant other trying to attempt to have sex and you shut them down, it's gonna make them think like, you know what, I'm not attempting to initiate sex with you no more, so to speak. That's kind of like how with women, like women don't like the polar opposite of men when it comes to like initiating thing or going the extra mile, and the woman just turn them down. That's kind of like if it comes to initiating to get to know somebody, a woman do not like rejection. So if they experience that rejection, they will not step to a guy ever again, so to speak, because to them that's like the ultimate, like I wouldn't say ultimate sin, but that's like a no. Like I literally had a woman who was interested in me, and she was like, "Yo, if you don't feel the same way, I'm out. Like I'm out off the door." And it's like, "Yo, like you was kicking it to me and wanted to get to know me, and you told me you like me. Like, can I walk in? Like, because the shoe was on the other foot, and you didn't like me, and I'm trying to kick it to you or whatever." You would eventually be walked in, and eventually like me, and I would have to accept that as a man that I got to win you over. So it's like, yeah, so I think that's the way, that's the best analogy I can give on that aspect, where the way men look at stuff like that and a woman is like, "Oh, don't do for me," is the same way women look at stepping to a guy and the guy is not interested and she get that feeling of rejection. Yes, no. 'Cause I'm just like, y'all just looking like, okay, I'm like, yes,
I,
no. Do you
I
agree?
thought educated lady was gonna say something.
Yeah, do you agree? Disagree?
As a guy, I agree, but I wanted to know what a
Yeah,
woman
exactly.
thinks of
As a
that.
woman, do you agree with that?
All right, give me the synopsis. I'm sorry because you kind of lost me. Give me the
So
synopsis again. Like you don't have to say the full
okay,
story, but
the way a man feel where a woman, where he does something for a woman, like June said, hold the door, and she's like, I didn't ask you to do it.
hmm
That feel of rejection will shut a man down from doing that again. Kind of like how if a women don't want to step to guys or whatever, but if they actually do take the initiative to step to the guy and she get rejected, in her mind she's like, yeah, I'm not doing that again.
yeah, it definitely it starts to diminish the amount of times that we do if it's with that person in particular. But in general, yeah, I definitely agree with you.
So that's the picture that I was basically trying to point. That's
Yeah.
how it is for a man. That's like, yo, that just, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah,
It hurts. That's the way it's looked upon. Let's go through the comment section and see. Because Rex said, I also say that men, especially that we're raised in a single mother household, need to get some teachings of mentorship on strong leadership and being a responsible man.
that's
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree with that 100%. There was something else he said too. He said, that's why I always say single women keep women single. That was in a reference to the comment that you made, June. Um, Erica Pierre said, I feel like some women choose to be the
shoes,
mark.
Hmm?
I feel like some women choose to be the
shoes,
mark.
shoes.
Oh, okay.
Autocorrect.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like some women choose to be the mark instead of trying to figure out what's best for the child. Okay. You agree, educated lady, or
I don't understand what it is. What I feel like some women choose to
the mark
be that
instead
man
be that man? I guess that man, yeah,
instead of
instead
trying
of,
to figure out what's best for the child.
I guess so. I'm assuming.
Um, yeah, I don't understand the
Okay.
statement. I'm sorry.
We'll move to the next one. I feel like at times women do what they want to do instead of what is in the best interest of the child. It is easy to cut the child's father off instead of figuring out how to work as parents.
That could be true, but at the same time, let's not act like fathers can't go to the courts or do what they need to do to also try to get custody, even if it's 50% or weekends or, doing whatever it is that they need to do to be in the child's life. Like
Mhm.
if the woman is the main provider, because technically when you look at single parent homes, everyone always thinks of it's the mother. We're doing the best that we can. So yeah, that would make sense in a perfect world. Oh yeah, you should choose better. Oh yeah, you should do this. Da, da, da. But at the end of the day, nobody can predict what the future is going to be, and it
It,
takes two. At the end of the
mhm.
day, I can't force somebody to be there that doesn't want to be there.
Here's another reason why I say us men, we're the problems with emasculating men, is because again, here you have one black man that's basically saying that
Excuse me.
Ciara made a wrong decision picking Russell Westbrook, who's quote unquote a square.
Wilson.
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah, Russell Wilson, sorry, is a quote unquote square and should have went with Future, so to speak. So it's like, even Russell Wilson, who he'll tell you the way, like he'll tell you the way he carry himself is in public is the way a man should carry himself or whatever.
I agree.
But basically the way he's carrying himself as a good man, a uphold, man or whatever, dad and yada yada, is viewed upon as, oh, this is you're a square, whatever, you're a nerd, blase blah. That also leads into, you know, emasculating of a man.
And the
We're
other,
the worst judge on ourselves.
Yeah.
yeah. And I agree with you, Rex. When you said I think men don't fight hard enough in the courts for their children. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing too that I wanted to point out is that everyone keeps putting it on Russell, but people fail to realize, like, if they listen to Sierra's prayer, she pretty much was saying like this is what she wanted, and I mean it goes on to other things beyond her prayer if you follow Sierra, but
Mhm,
she pretty much was saying she had to heal, she had to become the woman that a Russell Wilson would choose.
Mm.
And everyone keeps harping on Russell Wilson in comparison to Future, and oh, he's this and that. But people fail to realize Sierra took accountability and said, look, this is what I don't want this anymore. And of course, most times, if not all, once we have children, that's when the rose colored glasses come off. We start to mature. It happens. Like I said, in the perfect world, should we pick the right man? Should we do the yes, but that doesn't happen. But I love the fact that Sierra admitted, like, look, I have to take accountability. I had to work on myself, do what I need to do, whether it was, healing in with a counselor, or it was in the church, or it was both, whatever it was. I had to do some reflection so I could be a better woman. So not only am I a better role model to my child, but I want to pick a better man because I want this to be my husband. I want this to be my one and only. So that's the thing I feel like a lot of people fail to point out.
I'm glad you said that and not me. Because if a man say that, it's like, oh, you don't understand the struggles of a, yeah. I'm glad you said it and not me. You well said,
And again, it
educated
goes
lady.
back to what the issue is with the question that Tichina Arnold posed. It's like people fail to realize she said honest question. She didn't make a statement. To me, she didn't put down anyone, even though it does insinuate that black women are engaging in emasculating men. So maybe that could be taken out of context. But
Yep.
Mhm,
otherwise from that, I feel like she genuinely had an honest question, and not that many people answered it. They deflected, they made it about women, and it's like, yo, you're deflecting. Stick with the topic at hand. She's saying, like, look, how can we come together, and how can we as black women stop emasculating, continue emasculating our black men?
mhm.
And people just smushed over that. It was just like, no, 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 but what about us? Oh, but they don't. And it's like, okay, but you're deflecting. You're not answering the question. You're not you know what I mean? You're not sticking with the topic at hand. Let's answer this question first. And then if somebody else wants to pose, okay, how come we're not protecting black women? Okay, we'll deal with that another day. But right now, let's focus on this issue. Like we need to come together. It's too much division within our
Right.
community.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's gonna wrap up that
Segment.
segment of the show. Yeah. So I guess we're gonna move to the last segment of the show. First off, do y'all got anything y'all want to add to it, or y'all good?
We good.
I'm
All
good.
right. So the last segment of the show is,
Oh boy.
this was derived from a video that I don't know who the woman is, but this was a TikTok video of a woman who was speaking, and she was like, "How do you know that? How do you know? How do you know? Like, why are women so focused on men cheating and doing all this investigation, and yet with your investigation, you didn't realize that this man was unhappy, which led to the cheating?" Or I'm paraphrasing, but let me play the video for you ladies and gentlemen, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So share. All right, so here we go.
Everybody talks about, I knew he was cheating and they looking for cheating, but how can you know he cheating, but you never knew he was unhappy with you? How?
So you're looking for those signs, but you're not looking for
Yeah.
those signs.
Why do you look for what somebody's doing, but you don't know when they're not happy with you? Come on. I'm like,
Is that being self-absorbed? You feel like maybe sometimes in relationships, women, because like you said, we know that we get everything just because we're women, so we expect it, and we don't want to give the man anything.
Oh,
in
yes.
return.
Women are self absorbed and entitled. And I can say this because I've been doing this work for over 15 years. They believe because they have a vagina and pretty, that they, and a nice body, that they are entitled to being treated a certain way. However, have you ever seen a woman that's beautiful and she looks amazing? Her body, everything is together, very smart, but those type of women always get left for more plain Janes.
Yeah,
Women that
looking like
you
chose.
Did you see what I was looking like? Because it had nothing to do with what she looked like and what she came to the table with. It was what she was being to him and how she made him feel in his presence. So we see it all the time. But they going out here, girl, thinking that I have to look like this, getting these botched BBLs and all of this tuck it in, suck it out, and all that.
Keep my mouth closed.
And then on top of that, it's like they're not. I'm doing it for myself. No, you doing it because these men is liking these pictures. But here's the thing, Mo. The pictures that they're liking, dude, most of those women don't have a man.
Oh, girl, isn't that the funniest thing?
Interesting.
The gorgeous women stay single their whole lives. Isn't that interesting?
Because they never learn the girl part. Learn the girl part. Learn to just be. A woman that has her femininity, her spirituality, and her sensuality all flowing at the same time is a force to be reckoned with.
I agree.
It seems like you got a lot to say on that. I agree too. I agree too. But okay, who wants to go first? Educated lady, you want to speak on it first, or
I agree with her to an extent.
okay?
I agree. But first off, let me just say
Hold
this.
on. Can when you go, after you say what you got to say, can you go into what you would disagree with first?
Okay, what I disagree with?
Because I want to hear from a woman's perspective what you would disagree. So go on.
Okay. So, like I said, for the most part, I agree. But what
Okay.
I disagree on is number one, she mentioned she's been doing this work for 15 years, but she never mentioned anything about her husband. Now, it's one thing when you're like, oh, yeah, I've been doing this work and I'm helping all these other women and, all these other things. But it's like, okay, where's her ring? Because I was trying to pay attention to her left hand when she was moving it. I didn't see one. And nor did she mention it. Because usually, like, you know how when I talk and I'm like, oh, but just to let people know I have 2 degrees in just so I could justify before people are like, how did she know? I didn't hear her say that. Like, oh, yeah, I know, girl, because I'm married too. I've been married for X amount of years. No, she was talking about the work she's been doing for 15 years. So I would like to know, okay, if you know so much, right? Why aren't you married? Or if you're in a relationship, how long have you been with that person? How did you meet that person? That's just me. The other thing is I wanted to point out that going back to what I had said in the first segment, a lot of women feel like even if you are doing these things, it's the possibility that you can still not get married. It's the possibility that you can still get cheated on. It's still the possibility. So that's why a lot of women probably feel like the modern women. Hey, strategic. So I feel like that's why a lot of women feel like, okay, I hear you, sis, about you're worried about him cheating, but not wondering if he's unhappy. But let's be honest, there's some men who, I mean, they may not come out and say they're unhappy, but for sake of conversation, there are some men where it's like, okay, they could have the plain Jane, like she mentioned, and she's doing the things at home, taking care of the kids, and guess what? He's still gonna cheat just because the option is there. Like and let me tell you, man, I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but my DMs do have some men that are married and their women fit the description of what she's saying. Plain Jane. Oh yeah, she's there with him, taking care of the kids, maybe stay at home mom, maybe just helped him open up a restaurant, all these different things. And guess what? They're still sliding in those girls' DMs because if the option is there, if I, give them the option, they're gonna take it. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're unhappy. Like I said, if you have the option and it's there, you're gonna take it. Because what do some men say? It's not about love. Some of them don't even kiss these women on the mouth. It's sex. But when they go home to their wife, that's love. So I hear her about checking to see if he's happy, but like I said, the thing that stops a man from cheating is a man that does not want to cheat. So I hear her, but I'm sorry, I don't agree with everything.
Can I go? You want me to
Of
go,
course,
June?
you go,
Okay.
you take
All
that.
right. See, the last part you said about the thing that stop a man from cheating is
A man
you
who
said
doesn't want to cheat.
one cheat. I don't necessarily agree with that. The reason why is because the actions of a woman can actually push that man to cheating. So that's because you gotta because a man who doesn't want to cheat can still wind up cheating depending on if that man is not making him happy or whatever the case may be. Like he can be pushed to cheating. And if you have a man who is a cheater, that woman by her actions can absolutely make him be committed to her. You get what I'm saying? Like so
No, a
that
woman
that
can't. That's like
I'm
me.
telling you from a man's perspective.
Okay.
Okay, I'll let you speak. A man who's a cheater, if that woman is doing what she got to do, keeping them happy and all of that stuff, that can make that guy be like, "Yo, man, I'm changing my life around, whatever, yada yada. This is the one." So that's that. The other thing, the main thing I want to get at what she said was you do get a lot of women who focus more so on if a man is cheating or not and doing crazy investigation, but don't put that same energy into that man saying, I'm not happy because of XYZ, blah, blah, blah. I don't see that same energy of her doing what she got to do to try and make that man happy. So on that aspect, I agree 100% with the things that she say because everybody's quick to do the investigation, put all the time in, put spyware on people's phones and all of this stuff, make fake accounts, blah, 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 all this stuff, all this energy, but you're not putting that same energy into making them or keeping them happy. So that's why I agree with what she said on that aspect. What's your
Well,
take, June?
there's part of what you said I got to disagree with. I
Okay.
think if a man is a cheater, where
Hmm.
he's like an Eric Benet, I don't think a woman can do anything
Thank
to
you.
keep him from cheating.
That's
But
right.
if he's not a cheater, you can push him to cheat without a doubt. He could be the best husband in the world or the best boyfriend in the world. You can lead him to cheat without a doubt. Now, you don't agree with that, Tell?
Who, me?
No, educated lady. You don't agree with
Oh.
that part?
The reason why, see, here's the thing. You know, my background is psychology, and
Hmm.
I firmly believe that no one can make you do anything that you do not want to do.
Hold on a
Be-
second. I just want to laugh at strategic comment. He
yes.
said, educated lady, don't be talking about our DMs.
I'll keep that between us
Yeah. All right.
strategic.
But go on. But go
But
on.
yeah, like psychology is all about the study of the mind. And if you have it in your mind that you are going to, even if you don't have it in your mind that you are going to cheat, the only thing that is going to stop you from cheating is you. That's like me cheating on a diet. I can easily say, "Oh, you know what? Because of something my son did, I'm gonna go be an emotional eater, and now I'm gonna go eat these Oreos." No, the only thing that will stop me is having self control. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, like what about your? I don't want to say
You
integrity, but it's like,
hmm.
what were you gonna say?
No, no, sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say like it's not integrity, but it's like at the end of the day, if someone can force you to do something that you didn't intentionally want to do, what does that say about you as a man? And then here's the other thing too. Why is it that we only and I get it because the topic is cheating, right? I don't want you guys to think I'm deflecting. But why is it that we only bring up this topic of, oh, you didn't know that the man was unhappy when he cheated, but no one ever puts that into consideration for a woman if she's happy. No
We
one ever
did.
puts into consideration it was the man consistent.
Nah, we
Was
did.
We we
That's why I
we
said
do.
I would take my wife back if she cheated, because I said that would, if she cheated, me knowing her, that's me doing something wrong, pushing her into the arms of another man. I actually held that accountability. That would have been on me. So I just want you to know we do say that.
And the other thing too is the only I think the problem that we have when it comes to a woman cheating is mostly when it comes to well, mostly in society when it comes to a woman cheating. Like if June tells me, "Yo, man, I cheated on my wife, whatever, yada yada, and we not together," I'm gonna be like, "Yo, why the hell did you do that, son? Like, she was a good woman. You better try and fight to win her back." When it comes to women talking about they cheated on their significant other, Other women is like, he must have pushed you to cheating. What did he do that made you drive yourself to cheat? You get what I'm saying? It's like there's no accountability. That's why when it comes to cheating, men have a different perspective as to speaking on it, because men will own up to it amongst their peers. Women don't own up to, like, women don't get accountability as far as when it comes to cheating. So I think that's where the disconnect is on that aspect.
I think it also depends on the women, because I feel like, and again, it's my anecdotal evidence. Going by my circle of friends, like, even for me to even say to, like, one of my female friends, like, oh yeah, me and such went to lunch, or oh, I ran to such and such and we grabbed a bite to eat. Oh my god, girl, you know what that could lead to? Don't do that. Oh, like, we hold each other to that standard where it's like, you know what, yeah, because of what she just said, never mind, let me cancel. Like, we hold each other to that standard. Like, so that's why I say I think it depends on the woman, because to me, I also feel like this: no one is responsible for my happiness but me. So at the end of the day, it's not about whether or not you're making me happy. That's an inside job. So if I'm going to, first of all, I'm not a cheater, but if I were to cheat, or anything like that, I would just leave. Because at the end of the day, that's the only, like I said, the only thing that's going to stop you from cheating is yourself. What is your self regulation system? If it's that easy for someone to push you to do something you didn't intend on doing, you shouldn't have been in a relationship or a marriage to begin with.
Yeah, but like with let's just say fitness, and this will be comparable. With fitness, your support system helps you resist that cheesecake. Oh my God, that piece of
Hmm.
cheesecake. I could tell it smelled good in my fridge. That support system will help you. Yeah, you're in control, but you have goals, June. Make sure you don't eat it because you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna regret it later. That's what your support system does. You said your girls will tell you, like, nah, don't go on that date. So yes, I hear what you're saying, but your support system help you. If my wife is being a bad support system, not meeting my needs, and just like antagonizing me all the time in certain things, yes, my support system is pushing me in the opposite direction because stress is now filling me up. We have stress. What that says about a guy is we're human. We don't say we're superhuman. We're human. So
See,
it so you go.
this is why I say if you have a guy that's a cheater, he can get with a woman that make him don't cheat. Because just because you have a guy who's like, yo, man, if my chick don't act right, whatever, I'll cheat on her, whatever. That's labeled a person that cheats. So if he gets with a woman and he's like, yo, I like this, and those things are being met, that cheater is now a person who's not going to cheat because those things are being met. So that's why
Well,
I'm like, you can get a guy that is a cheater, but you can get a woman who, it's just like you could get a woman that's a thought or whatever, right? But now that you become that man in her life that actually make her see, like, wow, this man actually does XYZ. She changed from a hoe into a housewife, so to speak.
but let me
That
ask you
that has
something.
been done. That has been done. Go on.
Wait, let me ask him one thing. Let's say you have a woman who's a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. She's a 10. She has a lot of money. She's beautiful. She's submissive. She's everything. Do you think 10 out of 10 men will not cheat on her? If nobody would know about it, only that man and that woman, nobody else would know. Nobody would know. Do you think 10 out of 10 men would say, I'm not going to cheat?
I would say, are we talking about Black American men?
I was just saying men,
Here
men
he
in
go.
general. I would say,
if
I
we
would
if
say
we talking 10 men, I would say 70% of them, 7 out of the 10 will do it.
even if their woman is perfect. So
I would
Absolutely.
I
I
would
don't.
say I would say 7 out of the 10 men. The reason why I would say 7 out of 10 men, because like I said, you have men who are like, "Yo, I will not cheat on my wife or I will
facts
not cheat on my girl." So that's why I say 7 out of 10 men I believe will do
will
it.
not do it.
Yeah,
Will
will
not
not
cheat.
do it. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, 7 out of 10 men will do it. The
Will
thirty
cheat.
percent, the 30% won't. The
Won't
thirty
cheat.
percent, yeah, the 30% won't cheat. The 70% will cheat.
Oh wow. That's going to
If
help
if
them.
if nobody will know, no. Here's the thing. I understand that men cheat more than women, But my argument is the
We don't know
numbers
that.
aren't that no, statistically, if you go by the numbers aren't that
But
far off.
women do not reveal when they cheat. A guy will reveal because yo, I just tapped that. A woman is gonna
I
do that.
understand that, but going by like us as men, we understand that. But if we going strictly by numbers,
Yeah, okay.
the numbers aren't that far off from each other. Now, if we
Okay.
want to take into account saying women, you know, hold it inside, whatever, then of course it may make the numbers varies. But I'm going by the numbers that are recorded.
Got you.
The numbers aren't that far off, but it's always presented that it's astronomical that the men cheat far more than the women do. And it's like, bro, the numbers don't say that.
Honestly, I think if they asked how many of us emotionally cheat, I think the numbers would be higher for women. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I think
I could give you that.
we're more likely to do that. But June, to your example that you gave, I hear what you're saying about your spouse diverting you from eating the cheesecake. But if I don't have it in me that I'm gonna be motivated, I'm focused, consistent, guess what? I could do that. Yeah, I cannot eat the cheesecake when I'm around you. But guess what? When I go to work, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to lunch with my coworker. I'm gonna make sure I get that cheesecake, chocolate, cherry syrup,
But
all
you're
this other
talking about
stuff.
a
Because I'm not.
cheater. You're talking about a cheater because you said if I have no motivation to resist that
Yeah,
cheesecake.
but my
Bro.
point is, whether you're a cheater or not, my point is, it's up to you as a person. It has nothing to do with who you're
No,
with.
you can't say has nothing because who you with can play a role on what you do. Like it
But
does matter. It
see,
does matter.
here's a better argument. The better argument, educated lady, is yes. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, you're a person who you have sweets or whatever, right?
Hmm.
Which will say that the person who loves sweets is the cheater.
Okay.
But if your support system at home, who's your wife or your girl or your boyfriend, whatever, they're like, I bet I know you like sweets. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, I'm gonna make avocado ice cream or something, which is a healthier substitute by any imagination as opposed to getting ice cream, which means that you're getting the boom boom from home, so to speak. So it's like if you're getting that feeling that need of having the avocado ice cream, which is a healthier option. Now, when I go out to work and stuff, I'm like, yo, I already had my filling of my dessert. I'm good. So support system matters in that sense. If that your support system is taking steps to actually help accommodate you on that journey.
Yeah, like you said, to help and
Yeah.
accommodate. But overall, the person, the thing that stops you from going to get that ice cream, even when you're not around your spouse or going out there to cheat, whatever the case may be, is you. It's
It is
you.
It's really
It
up there.
doesn't
it,
matter because you
it
can
is
have. Mhm.
it is you, but as a psychologist, you know that. Why do you think, like in AA, even though you want to go into AA and you
Good
say,
point.
I want to change, they still give you a buddy support system because you're gonna have that time of need where you're like, Dag, I'm about to sin, I'm about to do whatever. And you call that buddy system and you like, yo, I feel like I'm gonna do this. And they reel you in. So no matter how strong you are, you're always going to need a support system to reel you back in when you're
No,
about to go off the rails.
I understand that, but we're not talking about AA. We're talking about cheating. And
Th-
what you just
It's
said, let me finish. What we're saying when we look at the topic, it says women are so busy worried about going through hoops and hurdles to find out if he's cheating as opposed to figuring out if he's happy. And my point is, it doesn't matter. Like even the example of the diet, like, yeah, we trailed off with that one. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter whether or not I'm checking if you're happy or not. It doesn't matter if I feel like I'm doing everything from A through Z and back again to make sure that you're happy. What's going to stop you from cheating is you. That's what it is. You don't think that people who are in AA fall off the wagon
Yes,
even
but
with a buddy and then they have to get a new one?
that mindset does not help you though. Let's say you're the one being cheated on. The mindset that I can't do anything to help this person resist, that is failure right there because
No.
you're not gonna go the extra mile. Like he said,
No,
like
it's not.
strategic is
That's
not.
not what I'm trying to say. It is up to you.
That's
So
true.
I'm not saying that, oh, because your happiness, if you and I are together, because your happiness is an inside job. Oh, I don't care about June. I don't care if he's happy. No, that's not what I'm
let,
saying.
let, let, let me let me ask you this: Who do you
Okay.
what do you think is gonna make a person? Um, what do you think make a person who's gonna go in left field more? A woman who is doing what she got to do, focusing on keeping that man happy, or a woman who's just willy nilly and just like, I'm just going to handle what I got to handle, and we meet in the middle. Who do you think is going to more likely lead astray? The man that's with the woman who's focused on doing what she needs to do to keep him happy, or the woman who's just willy nilly?
See, I don't know. I can't really answer that because I still
All
feel
right.
like it depends on that man.
As a
Because
man, even if you're not a cheater, a woman that is depriving you and all of that stuff will push you into cheating. All we're saying is if a woman put that time and energy, as opposed to like if that man come to that woman and be like, yo, I'm not happy with such and such, and she's like, you're not happy with such and such, well, I don't know what to tell you, whatever, I don't know what to tell you. I'm me, this is who I am, and just deal with it. As opposed to a woman who's just like, yo, this is what's wrong, all right, let's see how we could go about fixing this or whatever. If you put that energy into how you could go about fixing it, as opposed to who dealing with or whatever, you'll get better results. That's all I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying, but this is what my whole thing is because I feel like, and this is just my ideologies, I just feel like no one on this God's green earth is perfect. So at the end of the day, there's always going to be something that someone is lacking. So that 10 out of 10 person, I'm sorry, they don't exist. You will always have someone where, like you said, oh, she has the career, she has the money, she da da da. I guarantee you, you'll find a man, if not a couple, that'll say, yeah, she has a lot of money, this and that, but she's a workaholic. Or yeah, she has all this going for herself. Oh, but she's basic in bed. Or oh, like there
Yep.
will always be a complaint someone will have. So when I say that a happiness is an inside job, it's because knowing that there's no one out there that's perfect, I have to make sure that I'm good, that I'm whole. So regardless of, because people are gonna fall. People aren't consistent. It happens. You get comfortable in relationships and marriages. So that's why I'm saying happiness is an inside job. I can't say, oh, because my guy's a workaholic, or oh, he's not paying attention to me. You know what? He drove me into the arms of this person. No, that means that I was weak. That means that there was something in me that I needed healing with, or something I should have dealt with, or I should have left altogether.
That's true.
So
But
I hear, mhm.
when you get married though, you become one, and that's how marriage started. You become one. So yes, it's you, but it's also me. So it's my, you think it's only your job for your happiness, but it's also my job because that's what I signed on for, was to help you feel better and become the better version of yourself. So if you just think it's on you, you're playing our relationship out by being that singular, like you're trying to be an individual in a relationship. It does not work like that. You can't think, oh, it's all up to me. And no, it's up to us. We're in a
Because
relationship. It's two.
think about it. If you're having a bad day, then your significant other come in and make you happy, make your day cheerful, make your day gleeful. That's the same process. That person made you happy. That person turned your day around and now brought a good feeling to your day.
Yeah, but it's temporary. So
It does.
hypothetically speaking, just let me finish. So hypothetically speaking, let's say that I had a stressed out day from work, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
come home, my significant other helps me, does whatever he does, puts me in a better mood. Okay, but tomorrow I still got to go to work. If I don't deal with whatever the stressors are, or if I don't have better coping mechanisms, guess what? Eventually I'm going to start to come home and bring my person and bring the work problems to home, which can interfere in the relationship.
But guess what? That significant other could be like, you know what? You could be, trust me, that you could do better. You could leave that job today and find another job. You could do this. That person can give you that motivation that you need, or what you need to hear to actually put yourself out there, make a better move. And guess what? At the end of the day, it turned into a happier result.
You're right, but I have to be receptive. If I'm
So,
not receptive to what you're saying, because, and I'm not saying me personally, I'm just saying I've seen situations like this where it's like I hear what you're saying, but if the person, like, you could have someone, for example, I know of someone who has body dysmorphia, and her significant other will tell her all the time, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, I love you the way you are, you don't have to get your boobs done, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, oh, wear the lingerie, I love the way you body, all of these things, and she still has it in her head, no, I still need to lose some more weight. No, I still like this. No, I'm not good enough. No, I'm gonna go get a consultation for the because why? You have to be receptive. That's like therapy. People could tell you all day and all night you need to go to therapy. But if you're not receptive to it and actually listen and abide by what that counselor's saying, it's not gonna work.
I don't
So
think it's
I'm
about.
not,
Oh,
huh?
sorry.
No,
Cut you
no, go
from.
ahead.
I,
You can
I
go
don't.
ahead.
Wait, we're talking about broken people, or are we just talking about people in a relationship, in a healthy relationship? Who are we talking about?
Well, when we
See, for me, the comment I made was you have a person who basically wants to do the right thing or whatever. That's why I said you can have a person who say to themselves, yo, if my woman ain't doing XYZ, I'll cheat, whatever. So going into the relationship with the person, they're like, yo, here's XYZ. They lay it down like, yo, I'm a person, I need a lot of sex, or whatever the case may be. And then when they get into that relationship, things start to happen. You have that discussion with them. That's the direction that I was going with the narrative. But if you have a person that's mentally broken already, then yes, you need to fix that before you get into it. But if you're in a marriage or in a long-term relationship, I'm assuming that that person wasn't broken in that specific category. It's something that happened and they eventually became broken.
For
Yes.
me, I just assumed it was a broken person because if you're going through hoops and hurdles to find out if your significant other is cheating, to me, I just feel like, yeah, that's a broken person or a broken relationship. Like once you get to that point where you start checking phones and I think like you were saying, Walls P about the spy, checking locations.
I was just throwing that out there. That's
Yeah,
all.
but I'm
Yeah.
well, so to me, I took that as a broken person or a broken relationship. So maybe that's where the disconnect is. But and that's why, like, what I'm trying to say is when I say that my happiness is an inside job, I don't mean that it's all about me and my happiness. Who
Oh, no,
cares
no,
if
no.
June ate today or if I cook this? No, I'm not
I didn't
saying
think
that.
that.
Yeah, that's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Nah.
But what I'm saying is it's up to me to be happy because guess what? If I'm not happy within myself, we're gonna have war at home. So that's why I feel like yes, happiness is an inside job. You can't force me to cheat if I didn't already have that in my mind. Because for me, you I'm just throwing a random person out there. If it was Idris Elba that walked past me butt naked, I'm not even gonna turn my head because in my mind, oh, I got my significant other on the brain.
That's
Like,
different. That's different from women and guys. That is completely
okay,
different.
that could be
And
a good
trust me,
one.
you have women who'll be like, nah, that's Idris Alba, dude. You'll owe me one. I got this. Cause I hear my brother and sister all the time. They like, yo, if I told him if such and such LL, I'm just throwing a random name out. If LL come around, boo, you owe me one. I give you a pass for one. And he's like, yo, I'm telling you, if I don't know, if Janet Jackson come around or something, she owe me one. And we like, yep, we have a mutual agreement. You get so some people have that open, communication or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on.
No, but I hear what
But
June is saying.
you're strong willed though. I tell you that if Idris Alba walked and you're like significant other, because promise you, most people will be like, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said, and that's why maybe that's why it sounds crazy because I always say this, my ideologies are different. So for me, I feel like, and I mean, we're all human. Like we've all been in situations where we could have, gone to dinner with someone or we could have met someone later on that night. And for me, it was just like, no, it's not even about weighing the pros and cons. My man is better than any other, like I'm not even thinking about what you have against him because I'm so focused on my man.
So you mean to tell me if you had a situation with the man of your dreams who you like, yo, this dude right here, whatever celebrity, and you had an opportunity to smash and nobody would know, like you have a thousand, like 100% of knowing it will never get out. You wouldn't act on it.
Morally and ethically, I couldn't.
Wait, can
I'm not asking morally and ethically. Would you act on it?
No, and that's what I'm saying. No, I wouldn't because morally and ethically, I couldn't do it.
Walls,
Okay.
let me add to that. Let's say it's not having sex with the person. Let's say it is Idris Elba. And all you and your boyfriend, husband, whatever, y'all in a bad situation right now where he hasn't been talking to you for a week. He's acting like a little child. Y'all just it's tension in the house. And Idris Elba's like, hey, educated lady, I just want to take you on lunch. I just want to have a 30-minute conversation with you just to get to know you and blah blah blah. We can fly to my blah 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 and all of that. You would not entertain that lunch date.
No, I couldn't because I know that I'm attracted to him. If I know that that is the man of my dreams, no, it's not, man. Listen, no, it is not.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
thank you for that. Thank you for that, June.
No, I am being honest with you. I had a let me tell you, I had a situation. Was this about 3 years ago? Because I think I was still at a different job. And we were at a conference in Atlantic City. And I technically didn't plan for the whole 3 days. I planned for two. And, make a long story short, drinks were flowing. Because they have happy hours, they have all these different events and stuff. And it's Atlantic City. So of course you're gonna find stuff to do. And someone made a comment to me who I never even thought looked at me that way. And it was just like, oh, yeah, you could come to my room, right? Yeah, yeah, you can spend the night. You could do the extra day. We'll ride back together, all this other stuff. I texted my significant other. I was like, yep, babe, I'm at the station. This is when my transportation pulls off. I'm out. Because for me, it's like, I I'm not a cheater, and I look at cheating differently. Like I said, I feel like it's more on me than it is on that person. It's a cop out to say, "Oh, my significant other wasn't doing this, this, and that, so therefore I'm gonna go cheat," because that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem to me. And like I said, morally and ethically, I couldn't do it because even if no one else knew, I would know. Every time I looked him in the eyes, every time we made love, every time whatever, I would always know, like, dag, there's something that I have holding over this relationship that he doesn't know. So that's just me. Again, my ideologies are different. I know.
The only thing about that story was it wasn't Idris Elba. So
No,
you
but
feel me? So
no, but it was a situation where nobody would find out. No, but it was a
yeah,
situation
yeah.
where nobody would find out. So technically,
June. Look. Here, there's the best.
For that's real.
Yo,
man,
I look,
listen, I hear you.
I definitely I hear you every like I hear what you're saying. I'll take your word for it, but K Saeed put it
But see, here's the thing. The same way you say that us women shouldn't generalize, the fact that you're pointing to your cap, he's posting a cap, is because you're generalizing that's how women are.
I'm not generalizing that's how women are. I'm generalizing a
So then why are
situation.
you
I
laughing and thinking it's cap
I'm
then?
laughing because like I said, a situation like that where 100 like it I just see it as it's hard for a person to turn that down, especially if it's the person of your dreams, like because
Maybe if this was
that's like a one in a lifetime opportunity, and I don't know.
maybe if
Especially
this was like 10 years ago, but now no. So I admit that. Maybe if this was a couple years ago, okay. But not now in my life.
wow.
All right. All right. Well, I guess I hope that hopefully that sums it all up or whatever. But yeah, like I said, man, I just see it as the effort that one would put into see if their significant other is cheating, put that energy into keeping them happy or whatever. Because the only reason why a person is gonna go into that mode of investigating if the person is cheating, like something had to make you believe that, so to speak, like why they're cheating.
I don't
Something
know.
had to make you.
For me, I feel like instead of putting that, and I mean, yes, you should make sure your significant other is happy. Let me say
Hmm.
that for y'all ragtag me. But I feel like that same energy that you're putting into going through hoops and hurdles to see if they're
Hmm.
cheating, you should put into yourself. Because clearly there's a disconnect within yourself. Something's going on. Like I remember this one girl in undergrad, like we went out one day and she was like, "Oh, do you mind if I just stop at my boyfriend's neighborhood real quick?" And I was like, "Sure." Technically, it wasn't her boyfriend; it was just someone she was messing with, whatever. We drive through the neighborhood, and I'm thinking like, "Okay, is she gonna like stop the car? Is she gonna call whatever?" She was like, "No, I just want to drive by real quick, see if there's another car in the lot, or I want to see if the lights are on and hit like what?"
Mm.
Instead of go like, you know what I mean? Like to me, that's crazy. Instead of going, and mind you, she's not the only person I know that has done something like that. But it's like instead of doing that stuff, why not put that into you so you could figure out like what is it about you where you're that insecure? And that again, going back to what I said about being whole within yourself, because I'm not trying to say all men cheat. I'm not trying to put that out there. However, realistically, like you said, even going off the statistics, it's a possibility that it could happen whether you find out or not. I'm not about to go out there and find, oh, is it true? Is he really doing this? Is he doing that? It's just one of those things where it's like, look, I got to make sure I'm doing what I need to do. And if he does go out there, whatever, I just hope and pray I don't find out.
It's a waste of time and energy, pretty much. Like
It is.
I got better things to do and more important things to worry about than if that person is cheating or whatever.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And
That's everything.
I agree with you. I agree
Yeah,
with
if
you on
you
that.
have
Yeah.
business, if you have a life, if you have things to do, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have too much stuff going on to sit there and be like, oh, girl, you feel like doing a drive by? I need to see
Yeah,
if he
yeah.
really is home and sleep. Like, nah, man, because that's taken away from something else I could be doing.
That's
Yeah.
wasteful.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I guess that's gonna wrap it up on this segment, and that's gonna conclude the live that we had today. June, I definitely thank you for definitely saving the day since Rex was having technical issues and everything like that. So
Thank you
yeah,
for
man.
having me.
No doubt, no doubt. And Rex, like I said, next time I'm gonna try different hardware and see if that rectifies the issue for our Friday night lives and everything like that. But
Yeah, because we think you walls P. We think that when you weren't around, Rex internet was working perfectly.
yo, man, and you know what? I believe it 100% that I'm the catalyst of the issues. Like I strongly believe it. So I'm not disagreeing with you. Now I think that falls on me for real. So I'm gonna try different things because even with the lives, whatever, my audio would be cutting out and all this. So at least I rectified one issue. Now I got to work on the other issue when Rex is on. But I'm mad why it only happens with Rex because even with Strategic and stuff, like everything was good. So yeah, I guess my hardware don't like Rex, man.
Yeah. Aw.
It's like yo, man, we only dealing with people with connections in the US.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. He's in Canada.
Yeah, so it's like, nah,
Um,
we don't want no outsiders, no. But
Uh,
nah, I'm just joking, whatever. But yeah, like I said, I'm next time I'm gonna switch up the hardware to see, what's up and everything like that. With that being said, definitely check out the video that we recently dropped on the channel about should black women consider dating, marrying or dating white men. Definitely check that out. Very good discussion on that. And we're gonna
definitely.
definitely do a part two on that video also. So check it out.
look at your face, June.
Yeah.
Like you want to say something?
No, I didn't see it yet. That's why I was like,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
wow,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
nice.
But yeah, we got through the storm because yeah, there was a lot of technical issues and everything going on. But hey, it is what it is. That's what happened when you're alive. So no
Exactly.
editing, no filter, no nothing. It is
Thanks
what
for
it
rocking
is.
with us.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So again, check out, Hold Up, Hear Me Out though on Monday night, Wednesday night, and of course Friday night collaboration. And check our lives, Matter of Opinion lives, every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. So anything y'all need to add in before we close shop?
Wait, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes,
Just
8
wanted to put
p.m.
that out
Eastern
there.
time. Yes, yes.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, for real, for real. Oh, and June, did you connect the channel or no?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Let me
Yeah, because I got a notification that they went live.
I did.
You did? Oh, okay. Wow.
That
Okay.
was before Rux even went on.
Oh wow, nice. Okay, good. I was hoping that it definitely did that. All right, cool. Good deal. Well, that's gonna be it for tonight. I know we gonna do that pre-recorded video, June. So we definitely gonna look into that, after we close this live up. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on this live. We appreciate. Definitely like and subscribe, and that's
And
gonna be
share
it
the
for
content.
exactly. And that's gonna be it for this Friday night. We appreciate you guys sitting here with us through this adult conversation. Although it got heated time by time, but it is what it is. It's all love,
Mm-hmm.
especially from me, an educated lady.
Mm-hmm.
Rex even said it in the comment, like, "Dang, y'all be down each other." That's how we do. That's how we do. But it's
Exactly.
all love at the end. That's why
Mm-hmm.
a debate channel,
Mm-hmm.
she ready to get at me now. But all right. With that being said, man, I think our most heated conversation was the Kevin Samuels video.
It was, but but you know what it is though. I don't
That was
take this
me.
serious.
You know
Exactly.
what?
It's
You know
always
what?
you.
That was me though, because at that time when we recorded it, I honestly wasn't like, remember, I wasn't up for recording.
No, you weren't.
I was not in the mood for recording. So I think with that being into it, filtering in, yo, it's like I was annoyed. And she was like,
No,
yo, it was written on your face. Like
no,
even June said it in the video. He was like,
Yo, you could feel the energy.
no. It's
Y'all should put the
always
video.
him.
Put the video in the description.
yeah, yeah,
No, it's
yeah.
always him because I never take this stuff seriously. It's like,
No,
all right, we give our opinions, whatever, but you go in.
no, you
Like
know
as soon
what?
as I see the wrinkles in the forehead
You
and your
know what
voice
though?
change, I'm like, all right, let me back
Nah,
down.
you know what it is?
I
For
know to
for for
go up to the line, but I won't
for
cross it.
for that video, I was annoyed, and even like off
You're
camera.
always
No, no,
annoyed.
no. When we had off camera discussions, we definitely like I would definitely be annoyed. But as of lately, you see, like I when we have discussions and stuff, I don't go into the annoying things because like I kind of like take your approach with it. When was the last time off camera we had discussions and I'm like, yo, educated lady, I'm getting annoyed. I haven't done that in a while, right? Am
Trying to
I?
think. No, you haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
You
So
haven't.
I'm looking at things in a different perspective now. But I promise you, I'll say like a year ago or so, yes, 100%. But I look at it in a different perspective now. But even now, I'm just a person. When I speak, I get into it, and people look at it. Damn, that's an angry black man. Nah, it's just I get
You're
passionate. I
passionate.
get passionate when I speak.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So it's all love. It's not me getting angry or not. It's all passionate. Even
Yeah,
today, earlier when we was talking, whatever, that was just me being passionate, not angry or not. It was just passionate.
but it
That's all
comes
that
off
was.
that way
No,
sometimes
I get it, but I'm
because
just letting I'm
everybody.
letting the audience know. That's all. It's just
Exactly,
passionate.
because there are
That's all.
people who don't watch every live, every
Exactly.
pre-recorded video.
Exactly.
So if you're just tuning in,
Yes.
especially like some of my friends, and it's
Yeah.
like, because I got two messages.
Yeah, nah.
So
It's
that's
just
what, yeah,
passion. It's just passion. That's all it is. It's no beef or quarrel.
no.
That's why you see like me and educate, we
Mm-mm.
keep
He
we
locks
keep it
me in the
moving.
basement. He don't feed me. He only bring me out when it's time to record.
Yo,
Like,
you know the feds can hold this against me.
no,
Oh,
Like, yo, we got you on camera. We got you on
exactly.
like we got a
Like,
confession.
let's check that
Yeah,
basement. She said she was locked
exactly.
in there.
But yeah, we rambling at this point. So everybody, thanks for joining the live. We appreciate it. June, we
Absolutely.
definitely gonna connect after this, and we'll
yeah.
see everybody on the next episode. Later, everybody.
Absolutely.